Hello everyone. Hope you're doing well. I did another goof. This time was my own fault. I started the video for you and started talking, and then I kind of second guessed myself because I could see my face here, and then I could see the way my lips is moving is kind of after I hear myself talking. So I thought it's not synchronized. And good thing it was only a couple of minutes into the video. I said, "Oh, looks like I'm lip syncing," so I stopped it. But it was all perfect, so I have to repeat the thing again. So anyhow, I hope you're all doing well. And here I am trying a new tea made from. It's coming from China. Like everything else, of course, by the way. But a little bit earthy, and they say it's good for you, so we'll find out. Maybe if I'm still around 1,000 years from now, that means it was a good tea. So, what are we talking about today? We're talking about hoping that you have sorted things out and feeling better about yourself. And I guess that's what it is all about, to feel better about yourself. And some of the friends around the world who send me emails and or make or put kind, warm, appreciative comments, they also express their surprise and wonder that why is it that your videos are not viewed by 1 million people. Really, I don't know, but could be because I'm not tagging them well, or maybe people don't want to know the real reason of why they're feeling how they're feeling and about what they're going through, and they are mostly interested in just quick fix, a formula. They're not interested to spend the time to figure out the core, the real seed of the problems, to fix it from roots. They want it to be masked and covered so they can go on to the next thing, because somehow we've been sold the bill through the years, in North America mostly, that you don't have time for anything and you don't have patience for anything. So they've trained us not to have patience. In the old days, always the whole emphasis was to have patience and understanding and knowledge in life about yourself. Spend time with yourself, especially Eastern countries, India, China, Japan, all these places talk about understanding the inner person, the inner psyche, and connecting with the energy of the universe, and understanding our relationship and connection with the nature. But with the modern times, which mostly started this sort of philosophy of you don't have time and you don't need patience, it started in, I think, in the industrial world, and in North America it became a specialty to make things fast. In some things it turned out to be pretty advantageous, and in some things it turned out to be a disaster. And that is, somehow we were sold the bill of that we don't need to be patient. We need things to be fast. We need it to be injected to us. Happiness, injected to me. Give it to me. In one sentence. That's why many people who are going through challenges, emotional challenges or whatnot, they look through internet, look for solutions, but what they go for are the short sentences, short videos of 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5, 6 minutes maximum, maybe 10. And they want an excerpt of a sentence, a philosophy, a saying, an example, short stories, something that would make them get something and feel happy about it momentarily, and then go on and think that, okay, now I know this and so I'm good for today. Now let's go for something else that can give me a quick response, quick result. So everything has become about, I don't have time, I don't have patience, I don't want, because somehow we've been told that we don't have time and we shouldn't have time, or we shouldn't wait for anything, because there's so much things that we got to attain in life. Why? Because happiness has been translated into having things. You got to have things, you got to go places, you got to do things, and you got to have things, and that's what happiness is. And therefore you don't, if you want to be happier, you can't spend too much time on one thing. You got to quickly get to things. Yeah, that's why if you notice, many of you have many things during the day you do. Yeah, you go to this place, you that place, short places. Most of them, of course, they're always, different things, but I'm talking about in some cases, if it's not in general cases, lots of short things you do, an hour here, half an hour there, 20 minutes here. That's why the attention span has been trained through all these philosophies of, you want to attain things, you got to get things fast, you don't have patience, you don't have time. And happiness is about getting things, so the more things you get, the happier you are. So all of that has turned into a training without we notice it. Ever since we are a child, we are now trained not to have patience, not to go after things that are fundamental, that are from the roots, that you can learn them and fix them from the foundation. We are not interested in that. We are only interested in the facade, in the outside look, in the image, which you can all relate back to some of the other videos that I've had. Image is not just what we interact with the outside world and with each other and with the things that is out there, outside of ourselves. Is also, we're simply looking for things in order to be happy. Just getting a certain kind of a image. I forgot the train of thought. I guess you can feel it. I can't fool anybody, can I? So what I was trying to say is that it's not just that we present ourselves through image, it's also we're trying to create an image by the things that we get and feel good about ourselves. Like, okay, I was here and I was there, I go to a restaurant, I'll have a couple of beers with my friend, let's say, the ones who, still into the drinking, and they don't know every little bit of that also turns into habit. And so the whole training is been under our noses and we haven't been noticing it. We've been trained to not have patience. We've been trained not to spend time to learn things. We've been trained to be expecting things to be right away. And that is the basis of why we are not happy. Because really nothing good happens right away. There needs to be foundation, there needs to be proper planning and actions and to be taken, and eventually it comes to fruition. I mean, even a famous commercial for a certain ketchup. This little cute boy with his glasses is reading his book and having a plate of French fries in front of him, and he's having the bottle of French fries, ketchup coming out of it, but he's waiting. There's no ketchup coming, and then the caption or the voice of the narrator says, eventually ketchup starts coming down onto the French fries, but then it says, for every good thing, you need to have patience, or you have to wait, something like that. So that's how they try to show quality of a product to someone. But we have lost the actual meaning of patience is also needed to create a quality of life. For everything quality, patience is there. Nothing of good quality really is going to be made very quickly. The highest quality that we can think of is human being. I mean, that itself takes 9 months, for God's sake, for us to be developed and be delivered to the world. How do you expect all the things that you want to be very quick? And that has been a certain kind of a conditioning that we've gone through since childhood. And now we're stuck with that bad habit. And we don't really know why is it that we're not happy. We're not happy because we want everything that we're supposed to be getting. We've been brainwashed to think that happiness is getting things, having things, this car, this house, this money, this thing, and this girlfriend, and or if you're a lady, this boyfriend. All the reasons for happiness has become into acquiring things, not understanding about ourselves and our relationship with the world and life, and that would be the happiness that we should be knowing about ourselves. That has been changed into happiness is acquiring things. And for acquiring things, we don't have patience because we've been conditioned not to have patience. So first is that they've changed the definition of happiness for us, what really happiness is. We're totally oblivious to that. We think happiness is by, having a house, having an apartment, having a car, going to dancing, having a date, and this and that. That's one thing which is not really happiness. We'll talk about that. And the other thing is that we've been conditioned not to have time for anything. Patience is not necessary. You gotta have it now. So first, the definition of happiness. Second, the duration or the time that it takes for us to have it. So everything has been contributing for us to not to be happy. Because first, we can't have all these things that we want right away. I mean, all of them in a short span. Secondly, whichever we want, we can't have them right away. So totally we're not going to be happy. So why don't we try to find out where is happiness and what is happiness? Why do we have to fall for the bullshit of happiness is into things? Why can't it happiness to be in our connection with our life, funny thing is that we all are looking for a girlfriend, or if you're a lady, a boyfriend, to bring happiness to you. That's why we're so eager to get a girlfriend, to get a relationship, because we think that's how we can be happy. And happiness being the first and foremost reason for our life, really, or intention, goal of our life, then we always seem to be seeing our goal for our life to be residing in somebody else. And that somebody else, where is she getting what we're wanting in her? She's also looking for the same thing in things in the world and also in you. She's also coming to you to be happy, and you're going to her thinking that she's got what you need to be happy. So the idea thing is that you guys we all have been conditioned to want things fast. And our happiness even, we want it fast. And for that, not knowing really what happiness and how to get it, we go through the shortcut. And somehow we've been convinced that that shortcut, whether knowing it or not knowing it, is into a girl or is into a relationship. And ladies are looking for a boyfriend to be happy. Again, because they're looking for their happiness into something else. And they don't understand that something else is also looking for her own happiness in something else. So how could she have what you're looking for in her if she herself is looking for it? Because she's also looking for a relationship. And the reason that people want a relationship is because to be happy. If they were happy, they wouldn't be so keen to look for a relationship. And instead of really finding out how to be happy, they're trying to substitute all that they need to do to be happy by shortcut of getting a girlfriend, because that gives them a momentary happiness of not looking for it. They think they found it, so that's a relief. So they settle down. And then they go for a walk or dinner or a movie, and they think that's really happiness. But that is really what? Momentary, yeah? Look, if we ask someone, why don't you become an alcoholic? Why don't you use drugs? A normal, intelligent, decent, wise person would say, fuck, I don't want to mutilate myself. I don't want to go against my health. I don't want to mess up my system, my kidneys, my organs, my liver, my heart, my blood pressure, my veins, my looks, my skin. I don't want to mutilate myself. But say, okay, look, let's forget about all that. But let's say it's got no health problem. Something out of 5,000 years from now, they come up with some substance that it's got no bad things in it. Now let's just, think it that way. Like argue it that way. Let's see. And they say, well, I still don't want it if they have wisdom, if they're smart. Why you say so? Because that happiness is a make-believe, is an illusion, is like cheating, is like shortcut, and it's not continuous. It's not permanent. And how can my life be happy while I would have to be constantly using something, and it's not permanent, it's temporary, and I have to keep using that, whatever it is, whether it's drugs or alcohol, or just because it gives me a certain feeling and I feel out of it and I don't even understand that I'm not happy, then I think I'm happy. It's not that I'm happy, it's just that I don't understand what's missing, what's lacking, what is it that I'm not having, what is it that I'm not doing. That's why I think I'm happy, but I'm not happy, I'm just out of it. So we say, well, either way though, why don't you do this? Because it's temporary. It's a quick fix, but it's not a fundamental and a fix from foundation. It's not the real way of becoming happy, because I don't know how to be happy still. I would be hanging on to something to give me a feeling of an illusion of happiness. Why don't we go for the truth of how to can really be happy, not creating a fictitious moment of happiness. If they're smart, that's what we'd say. Well, see, if that's how you feel, why is it that you're looking for a girlfriend to make happy? Because that girlfriend also gives you a fictitious, illusory feeling of happiness, because you really chose them for the purpose of being happy, didn't choose them on the for the reasons of that she's the right person for you. Because you really focused on if you feel happy to be with her, and that has become your reason to want to be with her, to have a relationship with her. Then you go into that relationship with that premise. And many of you girls go into a relationship because you're looking for someone to make you feel strong, make you feel secure, make you feel certain about yourself and your future and so on. But you're not really going into with open eyes that if this person is really has similar consciousness as you have, and you can hit it off, and you can hit it off for a long time, not momentarily. Everybody hits it off for the first few months. But if you haven't researched well to see if you guys are really compatible and can really find many things in common, values and ambitions and goals and backgrounds and family and all the other things that is necessary to choose the right person, then you will end up with what? With a relationship that didn't work, and you wonder why it didn't work. But it didn't work because you went in there for attaining a momentary happiness because of a cosmetic way of feeling. Being with a girl makes you feel good, going to a movie, coming home, cuddling around, watching a movie, going for a walk, going to a restaurant, and then after all that, you'll see I'm still not happy. Why? Because that was like that drug, like that alcoholic beverage that kind of masked what you really needed to know and gave you a feeling of illusory happiness, and therefore you thought that's a real happiness. That's why people constantly drink, to keep getting that feeling that they can only get it from drinking, or the people use drugs, keep doing it because that's the only way they can get that feeling, by those drugs, but really they can't do it without them. The wrong girlfriend, going for a girlfriend and for the wrong reasons, meaning for being happy, is the same as you're trying to mask the real way that you should know how to be happy, and you're going for some relationship and some momentary activities that brings you elation and happiness, whether it's intimacy or walking along the beach and so on. It all feels good, but after a while all of that becomes apparent to you that they cannot be the reason for continuous happiness, because continuous happiness doesn't come from acquiring outside things. It must come from inside. So therefore, you must learn what is it that you should know and you should do, you should focus on, pay attention to be happy without any crutch, without any drink, without any drug, without any girlfriend, and if you're a lady, without any boyfriend. Once you find that out, then every time you choose a girlfriend, you will choose her for companionship, for the reasons of cooperation, being a team, and compatibility on all fronts. Not on the fact that, well, she makes me happy, so I'm going to settle with all these good qualities that she has. The rest of it doesn't matter because I get my fix. And we are accustomed to think I don't have time to learn how to be happy. I just want to be happy. So let me see what makes me happy. Not to learn what I should be doing continuously, methodically, religiously to be happy. Let me just get a patch. And that's why most of you fuck up in your relationships, because you really don't know that you're getting into a relationship. You want a girlfriend, and if you're a lady, you want a boyfriend because you want to be happy. And that's a wrong approach to find a girlfriend or boyfriend, because first you got to focus how to be happy without a girlfriend, without a boyfriend, and then go to find a mate, go to find a life partner, go to find a stable relationship. Not because it's going to bring you happiness, because you appreciate, respect, and understand that the qualities in that person, and not the quality of aesthetic qualities, beauty and sex and how she dresses or whatever. And for the ladies, not the quality of that the guy has money and a car or this or that. Qualities that would be compatible to your plans and your lifestyle, qualities that comes from similar backgrounds, qualities that can help you both excel into life with similar visions, qualities that you could cooperate and you could complement each other's abilities and specialities. Not qualities that aesthetically make you happy and make you feel good about yourself, which is, again, it's bullshit. It's short-term solution for a long-time problem. So what is happiness? Well, you tell me. Everybody has different way of knowing what happiness is. Certainly, happiness is not having a nice car. Why? Because there are lots of people who have nice cars and are not happy. I lost you guys. And so happiness is not having a house. Why? Lots of people I know, they're beautiful houses, elaborate, small house, small apartment, big apartment, luxury, but they're not happy. So having an apartment and a house, property, that doesn't bring happiness either. What about money? Well, I know lots of people that money has made them, their unhappiness, to be in style at least. They have a car, they have a house, they have money, they go eat outside and all that. They shop constantly because, again, they're not happy and they don't know how to be happy, and they think shopping will bring the value of that thing that they're buying to them. So attach themselves to something valuable, which is a product, and they feel, look, I'm no more valuable now today, so therefore I'm happier. All these cosmetically bullshits. However, they're able to do that, but still they're not happy. So bottom line is, money even cannot really bring the kind of happiness that can be long lasting. unless you have a long-lasting money pit. But you know what I'm saying. So what is it then? Maybe happiness is a lot simpler than we think. Maybe it's not really into this and that in the car and then house and money and clothing, because no matter what I hang on myself and how I make myself look and chic, Giorgio Armani suit, or I don't know, in my days it was it was different brand names, and today's different brand names, or all kinds of beautifully tailored suits, shoes, and expensive shoes and shirts of $300 shirts, or tie of $500 tie. I don't care what I hang on myself. If happiness was something to be painted on us, we would all be happy all the time. We'd get it tattooed, so we'll always be happy. But happiness is not about what we're wearing, what we do, because it comes from inside. And I can't hang a tie to inside of myself to say, okay, you got your tie inside, be happy. It doesn't work that way. So, many people go actually get a tattoo. They feel that will make him feel stronger, or feel, happier, or they feel, okay, for some reason. But then about a week or two later, they see it has made a difference in the shape or the look of their arm or wherever they put it on. But that what they were looking for, it's not on their skin, that by changing it or changing its aesthetics or its design to create a real inner abilities or feelings or changes. So again, none of these things that comes from outside, physically added to you, can actually bring about the happiness, the elusive happiness that you're looking for. So what does? Maybe it is much simpler than all that. Maybe it is really understanding what life is all about. Maybe really understanding that life is a journey, and that journey includes not having a girlfriend or not having a boyfriend and not having money and not having a car, and then trying to excel yourself, develop yourself, educate yourself, become ambitious, to try to understand if that's what makes you happy, to be ambitious. If not, not. And try to understand your connection with the universe, with the nature, what things are really completing this journey, making this journey smoother, taking the pressures off, making you genuinely understand the quality of life. And perhaps that's where happiness resides. And then once you attain that, which is from inside, you created it, you didn't attain it, you created it, you learned it, then you can go about and say, okay, I don't mind to have this car, but I'm not getting it because I'm not happy and I want to be happy. I am already happy. I found out that when I wake up in the morning and I open my eyes, say, oh God, I can see, I had a good night's sleep, I have a bed that I'm in it, that's happiness. My heart beats. Thank God I'm not, terminally ill. And then you learn that, okay, I'm safe, I'm happy. Then I have a cup of tea, or maybe a piece of whatever is your breakfast is. Then you try to get into that amazing feeling of having that opportunity to, in safety and security, eat that. And then be one with what you're eating. And have a maybe nice music and listen to it. And then figure out the plans that you want to have, things you want to accomplish in this day or in this life in general, and plan for it step by step and go with it. But the basics should bring you the happiness. The rest of it should be your choices, not in pursuit of happiness, in pursuit of completing certain projects and ideas and plans that you have. So you got to take care of the happiness from inside you. I'm happy because I'm alive. I'm happy because I have food to eat. I'm happy because I have a place to sleep. I'm happy because I'm safe. You see, if you really understand the big picture, big parts of chunks of puzzle of happiness, and you can see you have all of them, then you feel, okay, now everything else is luxury. Having a girlfriend, I'll do it patiently because I want, again, a long lasting relationship. So I want to choose them based on many criterias, not on the criteria that I'm looking for happiness, I'm not happy, so and she can give me certain kind of feeling of importance and value, so I'm happy, so I want that girl, I choose that girl. Well, really, you don't know what you're choosing. You're choosing the aesthetics that comes along with her, and you think that is what you need to be happy, but that's like a toy. You didn't really look and see if that the program in that toy, listen, computer aids, so we're talking about, programs. The program in that toy is actually compatible to your program. You didn't check that out. You just looked at, okay, it looks good. And then you get tired of it after a while, or it's not a challenge anymore, or it is a challenge that you don't want. So first, let's make the happiness thingy figured out. Then we have an understanding of how to actually approach to bring luxury into our life. And that luxury could be anything. It's the gravy, but let's get the food first. We'll think about the gravy as an extra, not as the main course. You're thinking about girlfriend or boyfriend is the main reason for your happiness. That's why you're always messed up, and most often choose the wrong boyfriend, choose the wrong girlfriend. Because you're looking for something that they don't have, but you think they do, but they don't. So if you would be kind to yourself and figure out where happiness really is, which is in your understanding of your connection with the nature and the life itself, not the impatience that these whole economic system have put on your head, that to be happy you gotta have this and this and this, and the sooner you do that the better, and then to complete the picture you gotta have a girlfriend in there too, you gotta have a boyfriend in there too. Therefore you're now trying to fill holes. You think happiness is made out of this thing that has so many holes, and in each hole something. In this hole has to be a car, in this hole money, in this whole apartment, in this whole house, in this whole vacation, in this whole a girlfriend. I have all the holes filled, this one is not filled. So I gotta fill the holes, because if you had the girlfriend, or your lady, you had the boyfriend, you still wouldn't be happy. First of all, because you really didn't figure out what happiness is, so on the wrong premises you found a relationship. But let's say it was a perfect relationship, which that should be good enough to be happy. But you still think you gotta fill other holes to be happy, because your happiness has become on the basis of filling out the cavities of your life, and you think life has cavities. You're constantly trying to get things, put it in there to feel happy. God damn it, that happiness worth nothing, because all those things that you buy, they either get old, you gotta buy another one, or they don't work well, or the relationship doesn't work. So you're constantly going like a, merry-go-round, or like a bouncing ball, up and down, up and down, up and down, because you didn't choose the right ball. So it changes its bouncy capabilities depending on the floor, air quality, weather, sunshine, all that. You want to have something that it depends on nothing else but you, and be permanent happiness. Find it inside you, and inside you, it's not a magic thing you got to find. It's all those little things that we talked about. Focus on life. Life itself is the reason to be happiness. But we seem to, since we have these things, we have the health, we have the little money, we have food, we don't think of all the things that we have. We think about the things we don't have. That's why we think, oh, the reason I'm not happy is because I don't have that, I don't have that, I don't have that. Why not really learn how to focus on the things that I do have, and the real basic things that I do have, and understand that that's where the happiness comes from. And the plans that you have, the things you want to learn and share and plan, these are really the fundamentals and the ingredients and the long-term, permanent ways of learning and being able to be happy. I talked a lot, I know. I have to have my tea now. And I hope it gives you something to think about. I love you all and talk to you soon.